आज का एपिसोड मेरे लिए बहुत स्पेशल है। स्पेशल फॉर टू रीजंस। पहला, आज की जो मेरी गेस्ट हैं वो बहुत ही सीनियर, बहुत एक्सपीरियंस्ड और एक रिनाउंड नाम है इंडस्ट्री में। एंड इट इज़ माई शेयर गुड लक एंड प्रिविलेज टू बी एबल टू इंटरव्यू हर फॉर माई शो। दूसरा, आज का जो टॉपिक है वो बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है। सो इम्पॉर्टेंट दैट आई फील इट शुड बी टॉट इन स्कूल्स इन कॉलेजेस। पिछले 3 से 4 महीने में मुझे बहुत सारी वर्किंग वुमेन से बात करने का मौका मिला। ये सभी औरतें अलग अलग बैकग्राउंड से थी, अलग अलग प्रोफेशन से थी, अलग अलग लाइफ स्टेजेस में भी थी। पर एक कॉमन थीम जो इन सभी कहानियों में से निकल के आई वो थी फाइनेंशियल इंडिपेंडेंस की। फाइनेंशियल इंडिपेंडेंस हैज़ सर्व्ड अ डिफरेंट पर्पस फॉर डिफरेंट वुमेन। For some, it empowered them and helped them find a voice within their families. These women were able to earn a seat at the decision-making table after becoming financially independent. While for others, it allowed them to make bold decisions. Decisions ranging from career transitions to taking career breaks or simply just following their heart. Which is why I felt compelled to do an episode on this topic on my show. But I needed an expert to come and talk about it. And not just any expert. I wanted somebody who has first-hand witnessed the challenges faced by people, especially women, when it comes to financial planning. And as luck would have it, I have found just the right person to talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming one of the founding members of Anand Rathi Wealth Limited, Mrs. Poonam Raghuvanshi. Hi Poonam, welcome to the show.
Hi Pooja, thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much for making the time. For me, this episode is testament of the fact that when you truly want something, the entire universe conspires to make that happen for you. बिल्कुल सही, ओम शांति ओम का ये डायलॉग है.
Shahrukh Khan.
Yeah, you're also a Shahrukh Khan fan.
Big time.
Oh my God, I grew up in love with him.
I still love him.
Yeah. So, anyways, and there's a backstory to why I said what I said. I think I never got the chance to actually tell you how or when my journey with the Anand Rathi group began. So if you allow me, I would love to share that with you.
I'd love to hear it.
So it was about 3 years ago, I remember. मुझे उस समय तक जॉब करते हुए 7 से 8 साल हुए थे एंड मैंने बहुत मेहनत करके कुछ पैसे सेव किए थे एंड आई थॉट कि अभी कुछ लमसम पैसा है तो आई शुड मे बी इन्वेस्ट इट समवेयर. इनफैक्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट से ज़्यादा मेरा ऑब्जेक्टिव था जस्ट टू सेफली पार्क इट असाइड सो दैट आई डोंट माइंडलेसली स्पेंड इट ऑल. And that is when I started my search for a fund manager, and I got Anupam's reference. Anupam is my account manager from one of my former bosses. So I reached out to Anupam, I spoke to him, and he told me very sweetly and politely कि मैम जब हम कोई नया client onboard करते हैं तो हमारा जो threshold होता है minimum वो इतना होता है. और मेरे पास जो उस समय पैसे थे पूनम, it was not even I think 40% of that amount. So I felt so disheartened कि मेरा अकाउंट नहीं खोलेंगे ये लोग, इन्होंने मुझे रिजेक्ट कर दिया है because in my mind I thought that was a big amount. But then my boss spoke to Anupam because she was a client of Anand Rathi at the time. And she said, Anupam, she's a smart girl, she's doing very well for herself and before you know it, she will hit that number. तो आप मेरे कहने पे इसका अकाउंट प्लीज़ अपने साथ खोल लो. एंड so वहाँ से मेरी वो जर्नी शुरू हुई एंड आई रिमेंबर जब मेरा अकाउंट खुल गया तो आई हैड दिस शेयर सेंस ऑफ प्राइड कि आई एम अ क्लाइंट ऑफ आनंद राठी क्योंकि वो तो हाई नेटवर्थ इंडिविजुअल्स के साथ काम करते हैं एंड ऑल्दो आई न्यू कि मेरे पास इतने पैसे नहीं थे बट जस्ट बीइंग अ क्लाइंट ऑफ दिस ग्रुप मेंट सो मच टू मी. एंड फास्ट फॉरवर्ड 3 years आई एम सिटिंग टुडे विद वन ऑफ द फाउंडिंग मेंबर्स. So that means so much. So thank you so much for making the time.
It's my privilege and you're at the right place, Pooja. Let me tell you that. It's a great organization and having spoken to you so many times, I know that you'll go even beyond our threshold, much more.
Thank you so
stay
much.
with us.
So मेरा पहला सवाल जो है वो ये है कि क्या आप हमारे व्यूअर्स को बहुत सिंपल टर्म्स में ये एक्सप्लेन कर सकती हैं कि वेल्थ मैनेजमेंट का मतलब क्या है?
See, wealth in our organization basically means everything that you own, financial assets, movable assets, whether it is your old traditional fixed deposit, Kisan Vikas Patra, NSCs, any bonds that you have, fixed deposit, real estate for example, या तो फिर आपके म्यूचुअल फंड्स हैं या स्टॉक्स, एनीथिंग दैट यू ओन इंक्लूडिंग गोल्ड इन्वेस्टमेंट्स, is considered wealth. उसमें आपका जिस मकान घर में रहते हैं वो is not wealth because it is not an investment. It has an emotional connect and therefore your own home and your aspirational home. You know, people have homes in Goa, the hills. There is again an emotional connect and therefore that cannot be a part of your wealth. Okay, so wealth in one word, everything that you own less your aspirational homes, commercial property or the house that you live in. That's wealth, right? What is management? Now management, अगर आपने सुना ही होगा, हार्वर्ड बिजनेस स्कूल जो है उन्होंने very simple way में define किया हुआ what is management and we follow those same. It's a four-pronged strategy which basically says that you must have an objective. Wealth has to have an objective,
Okay.
right? An objective is linked to the returns. Whether, and in a finance world, जैसे हम बोलते हैं ना फिक्स डिपॉजिट में 9% पर एनम मिल रहा है, सो इंटरनल रेट ऑफ रिटर्न है, उसको IRR कहते हैं in a very common language. So what is the return that you're expecting which your wealth must generate for you over a period of time,
Okay.
whether 3, 5, 10, 20 years. So that is objective. You have to have an objective कि आप खुश हैं 12% में, 14% में या 10% या 20%, whatever, that's an objective. And but उसके लिए एक strategy होनी चाहिए कि आप क्या करेंगे कि आपको वो 12-14% रिटर्न मिलेगा.
Okay.
ठीक है, so there's a strategy has to
Okay.
be there.
Okay.
Then you have to have, once you've agreed upon the strategy, then you must implement it. The most important thing is, you know, it's great to have objective, you need to have a strategy, but if you don't implement it, the wealth will never grow, right? So implementation is the third most important thing.
Okay.
And then once you've implemented, and that's where in your journey also you would have seen that Anupam would have helped you decide what is the IRR that you're looking at, and then implement the strategy, and you have executed, signed, given checks.
Okay.
And the last most important, you have to also look at the MIS, right? Which is the information that the portfolios is generating, and see how am I progressing forward. So if you have these four steps towards attached to your wealth, it's called management. So you manage your wealth
Okay.
in a very, very scientifically, mathematically and objective led.
Okay.
So
So
that's-
wealth is anything and everything जहाँ पे emotional value attached नहीं है, and
नहीं
hence
है.
it is not up for sale.
Correct.
So everything else जहाँ पे आपको लगता है आपको कहीं पे
Financial.
profit है, तो you will sell it.
That's right.
Is it different from traditional financial planning?
Yeah, very much. See, traditional, when we were growing up, I heard when I began some 30 years ago, and their financial planning was very important. And how did you define financial planning? Financial planning बोलते थे ठीक है एक piece of paper है, आप अपना wealth लिख दीजिए क्या है and how much money you have.
Okay.
Right? I have 100 rupees for example. फिर मुझे पूछा जाता था कि आपका risk appetite क्या है? Are you a high risk, medium risk, low risk?
Low risk.
Right? Now, who defines what is that medium, high, low risk? Risk is a risk. Risk means I don't want this 100 rupees अगर मैंने आपको दिया है, वो 100 rupees का 1 रुपया भी गुम नहीं होना चाहिए. There should be no loss, right? To our mind, to my mind, risk is loss of capital, right? So if I have understood my risk appetite, and if I've explained to you what is your risk appetite, and risk appetite चाहे आपके पास 100 रुपए हो या आपके पास 100 करोड़ हो, nobody likes to lose capital.
True.
And therefore it's important to understand what is risk. How do you measure risk?
Yeah.
Right? आपके financial investments में आप return से आप अंदाज़ा लगा सकते हैं कि how is it going to grow.
Yeah.
So even risk has to be measured by number. Okay, in our language it is called beta.
Okay.
Which, right, it calculates your risk appetite, risk attached to the asset, or it's also called a standard deviation over a long period
Okay.
of time, right? So these are all statistical words which are used to calculate risk, beta
Okay.
and standard deviation. In returns, you always will hear a word like alpha, right? सो आप ट्रेडिशनली हम ये कभी लोगों को समझाया ही नहीं. हम बोलते थे ये वेरी रिस्की. अगर आपसे कोई पूछे कि आपके अगर 100 रुपए हैं, वेयर विल यू पुट इट, एंड आई इफ यू केम टू मी एज एन एडवाइजर, आई वुड से 65% शुड बी इन इक्विटी एंड 35% शुड बी इन अ डेट काइंड ऑफ एन एलोकेशन. आप the first reaction, if you did not participate or if you did not invest with in a capital market, you would say equity is a very risky proposition.
Correct.
Right? Now it's our responsibility to explain to you what is the beta, what is the standard deviation over 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year period, what is the risk you take. So in a very simple manner, लोग जब फिक्स डिपॉजिट में रखते हैं, फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग अगेन गोइंग बैक टू द ट्रेडिशनल फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग, they did not define what was the beta of the portfolio, they did not define what was the beta of Nifty, right, which is the benchmark, and they did not define what was the standard deviation. वो सिर्फ बोलते थे high risk, medium risk, low risk. Low risk is your debt fund, fixed deposit. Fixed deposit में भी आपका risk है ना, क्योंकि if you have 100 rupees given to the bank, only 5 rupees is safe, because DICGC, the insurance company, only protects you for 5 rupees, not for the entire 100 rupees. So there is a risk. So if you understand what the risk is, then life becomes very easy for investment, right? वो traditionally हमने लोगों को समझाया ही नहीं. So now we say that wealth management is, you cannot speak in English, right? It has to be backed by data. It's a finance, and therefore it has to have a lot of data. It has to be backed by a lot of data to say over 20-30 years how has any asset class performed in terms of return, even in terms of risk. So equity में भी देखिए तो आप 20-23 years, you know, it does not move in a linear fashion. It does not go in a straight line. Whereas in a debt and a fixed deposit, 9% means flat 9%, right? But the biggest risk in any debt fund or in a fixed deposit, you will see, is inflation. Right? See, you're talking our language. Is inflation. So inflation can erode your capital if you don't understand. So that's a very high risk, right? And in equity, yes, it will be volatile. ऊपर नीचे होता रहेगा, but it will ease out over a period of time. So that is where I think the traditional financial planning did not have a good explanation in terms of math, and therefore people put huge sums of money in debt, huge sums of money in real estate without understanding कि asset allocation क्या होनी चाहिए. So when we do, I wouldn't say it's modern, but traditionally, again, if you understood what are the 4-5 asset classes which are available for everyone across the globe, is equity, debt, debt में आपके fixed deposits भी आते हैं, bonds वगैरह सब आते हैं, real estate, it's an asset class, commodity उसमें आता है gold, silver, which is also. So if you understood what are the risks each of these asset classes have, what is the expected rate of return from each of these asset classes, you can create your own wealth portfolio.
I think this is the reason why people always say expected rate of return, क्योंकि कुछ भी confirm नहीं है and risk is always minimized.
Yes.
And one of the things that I learned from our conversation was that even fixed deposits are not safe.
Yeah.
Only
5 lakhs.
Yeah, so 5 lakhs के बाद अगर आपका पैसा डूब गया,
बैंक डूब गया तो आपको नहीं मिलने वाला.
Yeah, so I think ये छोटी-छोटी बातें हैं जो लोगों को पता ही नहीं है.
Yes.
And people need to be educated on these things.
Absolutely.
So Poonam, like you said, you've been working for more than 30 years now, and throughout your career has been in the banking and financial advisory services.
Yeah.
In fact, you joined this industry at a time when banking as an industry actually did not sort of exist in the country. They were still finding their footing, especially multinational banks. And male-dominated industry तो थी ही. In general, women representation in the workforce was also way lower. So what piqued your interest and what drew you to this sector?
You know, I think life में role models होने बहुत ज़रूरी हैं, right? And I'm a big believer of that. To me, my mother was a role model, and she always said that you must venture into a territory which is unknown, because getting into a safety zone, everybody succeeds, but when you step out, so you try your hands and see what it is. तो हमारे ज़माने में 1990s में 3 में when we were looking at it, banking, multinational banks were a very glamorous job, right? Anyone would give their left, right arm to get into banking. And it so just happened that I was in Calcutta, and we were ANZ Greenlays was one of those banks, which was there was this lady called Naina Lal Kidwai. Everybody
Yeah,
knows
everybody
who she
knows
is.
her.
She was with her,
Okay.
with ANZ Greenlays, and she was my role model. I always looked and I said, I want to be like her. You know, so when you find role models, and I said, I want to be in that same bank so that I learn how she does. And so, well, I have tried my hand in various things. I've always been a very creative person, so I tried my hand in textile designing, which I
really?
did. Oh, yeah, yes. Kesuram Industries in
Okay.
Calcutta. I did a lot of textile designing and vibrant colors. I enjoyed it. I love colors, as you can see. I'm so wearing a
No, it
colorful
looks lovely
color.
on you.
Thank you. So I did that. Then I love teaching as well. So I went and taught in Carmel Convent, again in Calcutta. I taught class 11 and 12. All this was just after graduation, because I was trying to figure out what do I want to do, because you are so young, you don't know. And then one of those magazines that one looked at, and I saw this lady called Naina Lal Kidwai, and she was Naina Lal those days. And I said, wow, with ANZ Greenlays. So I said, must try. So I call myself an accidental banker, by the way. And I just continued. I loved doing what we did. And, you know, where you get a lot of respect as a woman, as a young girl, I was a young girl then, you want to stay, because I'm a believer that you work with people and not really with the organization.
True.
So yes, it was male dominated, but ANZ Greenlays in those days encouraged women to work. So a lot of my good friends were made in Greenlays Bank, and then I moved on to HSBC and Deutsche Bank. So yes,
So you were one of the founding members of Deutsche Bank in India, if I'm not mistaken.
so yeah, Deutsche restarted
Okay.
its journey in India in 2003-4.
Okay.
They shut down their businesses in India, the retail part of it, and then it started. So my Greenlays boss called and said, I want everybody coming back to me. We didn't even think. I was with HSBC and I'd just been chosen for private banking. HSBC, Delhi. I quit everything because, like I said, you work for people,
Yeah.
and he was again one of those role models, encouraged women to participate in a lot of things. You know, in those days, you did not hear that. So you need to have that kind of support,
Yeah.
where women are encouraged to participate. So yeah.
Encouraged and supported. I
And
think
supported.
That's even more important.
And that's when I just, without thinking where was the office, I just joined Deutsche Bank, 2004, and yeah, we set it up. So many manuals were being written. A lot of hard work.
Yeah.
I used to leave my 2-3-year-old daughter at home, and would spend months and days together in Bombay. But it was one of my best periods there. Lovely. So I had done almost everything. I'd done corporate banking, retail banking, doing the NR business in Greenlays. So interesting phase. And then, you know, when you do all of it and you say, सब कुछ कर लिया, but private banking नहीं की है. So 2007, October, November, I just decided that children were growing up. I just need to take a break. Multinational banks take everything out of
Yeah.
you, right? So if you don't have that kind of support, very difficult to work. So I just said, I want a break. So yeah, so that's been the journey. And while it is male dominated, even now very few women, but it's changing, because I think women folk are being recognized, you know, and if you look around, top notch, the CEOs of most banks are women.
Yeah.
Whether it is IMF, whether it is the World Bank, whether it is the banks in India, dominated by women. So yeah, things are changing. It's very good. Even in private banking now,
Yeah.
you see so many women. And you know, I'm one of the seasoned bankers who've turned
Yes.
into a... So this part of business I'd never done. So 2008 is when my journey in this organization, and 2007 is when my CEO kind of set it up, the private banking, the wealth management outfit. And he says, we like mature people, so why don't you come? Again, I didn't think, because I really liked what I heard, the vision of the organization, and I just came. So yeah, one of the founding members of this.
I think you get sold on the kind of people that you work with,
Yeah,
more than the brand or the company or the value it has to offer.
Yeah, you create the brand.
Yeah.
You know, and you create the brand, and I think, like you said rightly, that you work for people. Your vision and the vision of the organization, if they match, and if the people, they have respect for you, mutual respect,
Yeah.
you cannot go wrong. So yeah, it's been a super journey.
So how was it, managing such a demanding job, private banking ho, retail ho, NRI clientele ho, when you have 2 kids yourself?
Yeah.
And उस time पे तो I'm sure जो expectation थी from working women was even more कि आप job भी अगर कर रहे हो तो बच्चे भी संभालो.
Yeah.
So while managing 2 kids at home, how did you manage to be so successful in all of your endeavors?
Pooja, I think it has to do with our culture. I strongly believe that. That, when your family supports you in any way or encourages you when you're young. So like I mentioned to you that my mother was a role model, has been a role model. Even now, we don't have her around us, but she always is a guiding force.
Yeah.
So she always encouraged us, saying, अपने पैरों पे खड़े होना चाहिए. हर लड़की हो या लड़का हो, बहुत ज़रूरी है. Financial independence is very important. And with the financial independence also comes the emotional independence.
True.
Right? Because when you are secured, the confidence that you exude, the self-worth, I think nothing can
That's
match that.
unparalleled.
Right? So money does not matter because confidence can take you anywhere. So I think it was very clearly decided that I will continue to work and things that I love doing. So as a banker, I loved working with ANZ, with HSBC and Deutsche Bank. And I think during the course, and your life partner also has to be very supportive.
Yeah.
And my husband has been very, very supportive. He himself gave up banking to start a company, took them public. So he's been supportive of everything that I've done. And he said, you do what you want to do, because if you're happy, the whole house will be happy.
Yeah.
Plus, I had the advantage of my in-laws staying with, living with us.
Yeah.
Great support from my mother, from my, the house help that I got from Calcutta, because I grew up in Calcutta. So they were all there.
Yeah.
So it was a mutual thing. And I think that support was very important. And I think another very important thing, which I think many of us do, is that the guilt pangs.
Yeah.
The working mothers, सारी दुनिया उनके पीछे पड़ जाती है कि working mothers, I've heard it, that working mothers don't bring up good children, right? Because they don't have time, they are so क्या कहते हैं, selfish, because they are looking at their own promotion and all of that, that अपने बच्चों के लिए time नहीं देते. I used to hear that. And I looked around, I said that, अब स्कूल में जाओ, principal, my children went to Sanskriti, the principal, Gauri Ishwaran, was a lady, right? A working lady. She set up.
And teachers are also working women.
Yeah.
People fail to realize that.
Yeah. So there are working women, and उनके क्या सबके बच्चे ठीक नहीं निकले. So, and that kind of shook me, and I said, no, this hypothesis is wrong. But I just kept quiet. And then I said that if I love doing something, why should I feel guilty?
Yeah.
Of course, multinational banks, 8:30, you had to be in office. Come home at 8:30. Many a times I used to see my children sleeping, where my mother-in-law, father-in-law, my maids, my husband, if he came early, he looked after the homework and everything. But I never felt guilty.
Yeah.
People make you feel guilty. देखो homework भी नहीं कराती, husband करा रहा. अरे why? Both of us are working. The children belong to us.
Yeah.
So we have to contribute.
Unfortunately, Poonam, this is something that I saw up close and personal. कि अगर आपके husband आपकी help कर रहे हैं, help.
Yeah.
Again, I think I'm mistaken here because I also use the word help.
Yeah.
It's not help if
Yeah.
he's doing something for the house, for the children. I mean, घर भी, husband का भी उतना
Common
है,
है.
बच्चे भी उतने हैं, common है
course.
सब. So why is it help?
Yeah.
तो वो कहीं ना कहीं अभी भी I think narrative में कहीं shift आया ही नहीं है.
Absolutely. And
People want women to work, contribute to the household, share the expenses and everything.
Right.
But when it comes to managing children, अगर the husband does something, it's help.
again, it's the culture.
Yeah.
Because when we bring up our children, आप बचपन से देखो, बचपन से when you go to buy a gift, your first reaction if you're buying a gift for a girl, you will say एक छोटी लड़की के लिए गिफ्ट खरीदना है,
Pink.
something that a doll maybe.
Yeah.
But when you're going to buy a gift for a boy, you will say Lego hai, something which is constructive,
Football
engineering.
hai, yeah.
Why? So culturally we are brought up and the differentiation starts there. So I said that if I have to be different, if I have to bring about a change, you have to bring equal amounts. So
Yeah.
when my children, I have a daughter and a son, and when I said that if my son is playing football, daughter will also play. If she's learning tennis, so will he, and riding, both of them will do the
Yeah.
same. Equal opportunities to be given, and I saw that in my own home. We are 3 sisters and a brother. My parents never made a differentiation. So I think that guilt pang, that thing that the society is always saying, "Arey dekho, husband khana serve kar raha hai." Why not? If I can come back from home and I can do it, why can't husband? So I think few things that you have to set rules, which I did in my lifetime, in my working life, is that equal distribution. If I'm working, so will you. If I'm contributing to the house, so will you.
Yeah.
And children, if I can't come for the PTA, which very rarely did I miss, because that was most important. And I think children grew up pretty okay. So even work-wise, I love my work. I have always loved. But wherever I had to take a back seat or do something, I would go and ask. एक होता है हिचक कि मैं अगर अपने बॉस को जाके बोली कि for example, when I was pregnant, for example, I said, should I even be telling my boss? He will say, oh my God, she will go on a maternity leave, and then how will my work happen?
Yeah.
You're a branch head, all of this. Then I said, if we don't say it, the world will not grow.
Yeah.
So what is wrong? If I'm a woman, I'm producing, you may as well go and tell. So we don't ask. हमारे दिमाग में, because culturally we've been told that you are a nurturer and therefore you will take a back seat. If you don't have family support, the woman will leave her job to raise her kids. And that is something that, both husband, wife. So I think it's a culture thing which is changing, and it's our generation, my generation. I'm much older than you, and therefore my generation has made that specific. I have so many women working in the organization. I understand that if a child is sick, the child will never ask for a father, will always say mama.
Yeah.
Right? You have to let her go, and the work will get done. See, in life, nobody likes to fail, whether it's professional or personal. And therefore, you will substitute it even more. I see women who have taken the day off, but they know that this portfolio of the client has to be sent out on a particular day. बच्चे को सुलाकर वो रात के 1 बजे तक बैठ के काम करिए, because the emails come and you can see, and then you want to tell her that take it easy, it's okay. So women have to support women, men have to not support, but they have to recognize that we are all equal, and therefore inclusiveness is so important. And so I've been lucky, and I think many of us have been lucky. It's just that you have to vocalize it. You have to ask for help.
Yeah.
If you need to take a break from work, tell your boss,
Yeah.
tell your HR, which we women don't do it. Because हमारे दिमाग में चलता है कि वो क्या सोचेंगे.
हम अपने दिमाग में I think किसी बात को सोच के we create a mountain out of nothing.
So I say women are their own victim and they are their own lawyers.
Yeah.
We don't express. And I think that is where somewhere we go a little bit wrong. But look at, again, a role model for me is Indra Nooyi. She's done it so well and so good.
Yeah.
Look at Priyanka Chopra.
Yeah.
How they're creating names, and I love to listen to them. And there's so many women. I mean, look at your home, the maids at home, the decision-making power that they have. I was reading an article that in a rural area, women have, a survey has been done, urban women versus rural women, working women.
Working women.
The rural working women have more homes of their own with their own money than the urban women. You know, and so there's very interesting data which is coming out. So it's a societal pressure, but so stop being a victim, be your own lawyer and speak for yourself and support yourself.
Yeah.
Self-worth and confidence takes you everywhere.
Yeah, I think
My
external
belief.
validation पे नहीं depend करना चाहिए.
नहीं करना
You
चाहिए.
should know your own worth and you should go for whatever you believe in.
Yes.
We were talking about Priyanka Chopra. I think she's the perfect example of somebody who made such a huge transition in her career
Yeah.
when she was at the peak of her career here in India. And for me also, she's a role model.
Absolutely.
I look at her and I feel like she wanted something and she went all out for it.
Absolutely.
Unafraid.
And look at her.
Yeah, and today she's a global star.
But I think it's a confidence. Look
Yeah.
at her at the age of 18
Yeah.
to win the Miss World crowd, and not that she's beautiful, but the confidence won her that award.
True.
And I think, and so you pick up these things and you say that end of the day, if you have your own confidence, your self-worth, and you stop analyzing, saying what is the society going to say, because there's a Bharatiya Nari ka ek picture bana hua hai. Of course, we are great. We are still have our family values,
Yeah.
and you know the value system is very, very strong. But you also have to be happy. If you are happy, everything around you is happy.
Yeah.
So my father-in-law would say, इसको काम पे जाने दो, ये खुश होकर आती है तो हम सब खुश, अगर वो चिड़-चिड़ करती होगी तो हम सब परेशान हो जाएंगे. So I think it is important.
So in your experience, what role does financial independence or financial stability play in the confidence of a woman?
I think financial independence is extremely important in every single way. Not just that it gives you the decision-making power, it also increases your self-worth. You know, आप अपनी नज़रों में ऊपर हो जाते हो.
True.
Right? Because how many times if I wanted to buy something, I'm a big one for art, right? I love, whenever I travel, I pick up a artifact of that place, so that, you know, I keep saying when I become old and when I'm really old, I'll look at these things and memories are being created and I will look at them. Now, how many times I have asked my husband कि थोड़े पैसे दे दो, मैं जाके खरीद लेती हूँ. Never. I've done it on my own. So it gives you that freedom to think. You know, आपको गिड़गिड़ाना नहीं पड़ता है, कि सोचना भी नहीं पड़ता है. See, आजकल वो ज़माना भी गया, वो हिंदी फिल्म में जो दिखाते थे ना कि गिड़गिड़ा कुछ पैसे वो कहीं से. I've seen my mother. She was not a working woman. But what my father gave to run the home, she managed that wealth so well. Whatever little she got, looking after the kids, saving, and she used to save money, which none of us knew till she passed away. She died, and she had kept it in her name, right? So she was a very confident woman because she was inculcate confidence in us. So I think that financial independence, that she had that little money of her own, gave her that confidence, and that it percolated downwards. And I think, in my view, financial independence does just that. Emotionally, it helps you get out of that insecurity.
Yeah.
Right? कि अगर मेरे पास कुछ पैसे हैं, उसको मैं, like you went and said, okay, this is the money I have, I will allow it to grow. You know, that money which is your own, it gives you a satisfaction and the courage to participate and take a step, whether for your own self, whether for your children, whether for your home, whatever. It gives you that confidence. So emotional security, confidence.
I think decision-making power in relationships.
Lots. It does that. And it brings a parity that, you know, where you have a say in the matter.
Yeah.
Every aspect.
That for me, I think, is the biggest advantage of being financially independent. I have seen it in so many cases where women did not have a say in relationships because they were not financially independent, and men did not think highly of their partners or their wives. कहाँ पैसा तो कमाते नहीं हैं, employable नहीं हैं.
Yeah.
And I think nowadays things have changed primarily due to the fact that women are financially independent, secure. उनको पता है कि even if, you know, उनका कहीं पे किसी के साथ, you know, relationship doesn't work out, they are going to do equally well, you know, on their own. So they are not dependent on their parents, they're not dependent on their partners. So वहाँ पे I think as a whole आपकी respect in relationships has also increased.
Yeah,
and
true.
so has the decision making power.
Very true. So I see in my business, I have seen a lot of women, you know, they have gone through, they are going through a turmoil in their personal relationships, right? Because they're financially not independent, and they do not take a step back to say, should I be moving out of this abusive relationship? They don't,
Yeah.
because of financial independence, right? All these years you thought everything was hunky-dory, and whenever that step comes, you don't take that step.
Yeah.
And we saw that in the past very, very, it was a very common thing, right? Women went through bad marriages, never stepped out, continued to be suffering, never happy. But now you're seeing more women coming into a play. But so financial independence, but also that financial independence, I think, again, in our culture, because we are now being more vocal, we know what we want,
Yeah.
is having some kind of an effect where men have not been able to adjust in a big way. So again, it's a lot of give and take. It's a lot of education.
Yeah.
That financial independence does not mean either my way or highway. It's still a relationship. It's still a joint,
It's a
decision.
partnership, yeah.
A partnership that you have to take it through life. So yeah, I think very important. Because if you have to be happy, you have to have that independence. You have to be courageous to say, no, I do not agree with this, which I think it gives.
So I was looking you up. I, checked you out on LinkedIn, and your LinkedIn bio said that you believe in educating female clientele on financial literacy and on the basics of wealth management.
Yeah.
So my question is, why do you feel the need to educate women clientele? And I asked you this question because I know you work primarily with HNIs, and HNIs may access to education is not a problem. Unlike the lower strata, where even today people choose or prefer educating their boys over girls, but HNIs में ऐसा कोई वो पैसे का problem नहीं है, वो लोग सबको अच्छा education देते हैं. Do you feel even in that demographic, understanding of finance, wealth management in women is poorer when compared to men?
Absolutely. It is true, Pooja. See, again, I think it just goes back to culture. Culturally, very rarely. So when women got married, I mean, I go back again. Why culturally? Culturally, women have never been involved, right? I mean, I've seen my dada dadi, nana nani, where they took decisions without even consulting the women,
Yeah.
right? It changed during our parents' time, and it's very different now because. So it's not that they were not educated. They were, in their own way, they were educated. But women were always thought that they're good to look after the home. Financial matters, always the boys, always the men. Yeah. And culturally, it has continued and it has percolated down. Even in educated families, now I think when you look around you, more women, even in business families, are coming at the helm, right? Whether it's Ambani's or you look at Kirloskars, right? Anuaga. So they have come. But very few, you can still count very few women because it has been a culture. Men will take the decision. Because what you have seen, you grew up believing that men will take better decisions than women. Yeah, and therefore that culture thing, so when you see even in large families, whether it's HNIs, ultra HNIs, women are mostly, I would say, are told, ye sign kar dena form, it's either a survivor. And without much explaining, what are we investing in, what are we doing? So women have also allowed it to happen. Husband hai na, he is taken care of, my brother's there, my father's there, everything is in order. But they did not ask a question ki, is it what I want, right? So fixed deposit kar diya. I mean, 17 years I've been almost here in this organization. When I look at it, women hardly take decisions, very few. And survey shows that 33% of the women across the age bracket of 30 to 50, working life, and a random survey of 5,000 people shows that 33% of the women actually take financial decisions for anything that they want to do. 49% have said that they're not capable. I mean, imagine educated women saying not capable, or they're not interested because they're happy to pass it on. You know, if these are the data that shows there's something not right with the way we are being brought up, right? And I think that is where my interest in educating women. It's not rocket science. Even if it is rocket science, look at what ISRO did. Full of women wearing saris, flowers, gajra, bindi, and they did fabulous job. So if money is important, managing it also is as important, and everybody needs to be involved. And I think financial literacy, I've been big supporter of that. You have to learn, because कोई भी स्कूल में या कॉलेज में ये पढ़ाया नहीं जाता, चाहे IIM हो, IIT हो या schools, our own children. So it hit me when my son was graduating from school and he was going overseas and for his higher studies. So I said, do you know how to write a check? He says, check, you are there, you will do it. So I said, no, what if I'm not there tomorrow? How will you withdraw? Then I said, ये तो basic हमें सिखाना चाहिए था उनको. So I went to the principal of the school and I said that 11, 12, class grade 11, 12 children, they need to be taught, because your children want to learn economics. Theoretical is very good, but practical कोई नहीं सिखाता किसी को. What is a debit? What is a credit? How does the capital market work? All of that. So she got very excited. I said, I want to do, you know, give me 1 hour and I will come and teach them. And everybody wants to know about stock market. Everybody wants to know about the capital market. They've heard in the families, but they don't know. So my journey in educating the young began there. Way back in 2013, 14. And then I continued even with my daughter. And then I said, but why not IIMs? Because they are MBA graduates. So I don't know how the word spread. I think one of the Sanskriti students went to IIM and he invited me. And I went to IIM Ranchi and I was presenting to them. Then I said, why not teach in engineering schools? IIM ko to badha diya thoda sa. It's not a course, but it's about educating them in a very brief manner, telling them what is a risk, what is an alpha, what are the various asset classes, and you know, the very basic, and how to write simple checks and all of that. The banking, because at heart I'm a banker myself. Then I said, teach to the engineers. So there is this university in Mohali where I went and taught them the importance of being financially independent. That, you know, great that you're an engineer, you can change lights, fuse, whatever you can create a robot. But end of the day, when you write your check, you get your pay back. What do you do with it? Simple thing is write a fixed deposit, but you're eroding your capital. So you need to understand that your money also needs to grow, and the earlier you start, the richer you become, right? So that has been my interest. Like I said, I'm a teacher at heart. So I have been teaching. And then when I realized that women, irrespective of what strata they come from, they are scared of numbers. So was I when I began. But I realized that it is important each one of us understand what is the risk that they're taking, if there is at all any risk, rather than allowing the money to kind of while away. And I think it hit me hardest during COVID. The COVID 2020, so many of my clients just went, you know, and either the wives went, the husbands went, many children went, and so they were at a complete loss. And you know, at that point in time, I said that these kind of, you know, also it not only, people didn't just go, they were incapacitated in many ways, right? And therefore, the decision maker, when they are not around, or even if they are around, and you know,
not in a position to
not in a position to act, who's going to take the decisions? So मैं तो ठान ली थी कि मुझे ये educate करना है, right? And whether you don't have a choice, you have to be involved. Whatever, end of the day, it's your hard-earned money that you've given us to manage. You should know. I may be giving you a wrong advice, hopefully not, but you should know, because that is where, how do you want your money to grow, what pace, and therefore you have to take it, be involved. So I generally do is, my clients, again, most decisions are still being taken. It's a man's world. They still take, men decide. But I love to educate these women. Many a times I take these women, the wives, the women clients, I take them out of their home, my office, educate them the very basics. You know, why you should have a will. If your husband has a will, you need to know if that is the right will to have. You know, do you need to create a family trust, right? What are the taxes that are available, taxation that are available? What benefits can you get out of the various tax laws that's available? You should know. So that your husband who's busy making money for his company or as a CXO category, someone is also looking at the personal wealth. You know, like in a company there are balance sheets, right? The CFO, the CEO, the CXO, the entire people, set of people are looking at the balance sheet, end of each financial year, signing off, this is the profit, this is the gain. Why should your personal balance sheet not also be treated like a corporate balance sheet, right? You should know each financial year how much money you give to people like us, advisors, how much money have you lost, how much money have you gained. And therefore, it is duty bound for, and you have to make sure that your advisors tell you that. So, and that is something that we do for our clients, for every single client in Anand Rathi. And I thought it was such a beautiful thing. That very few advisors teach you this. And that is where I took it upon myself to educate women, educate the women clients, especially, and the younger generation, adult kids. Get involved, understand what you're doing. You know, unless you do it yourself, like Pooja, you are doing it yourself, you will understand it much better than a friend of yours where the money is being managed by husband, right? So unless you do it yourself, you will learn, and it all comes. We all learned it in our journey. So yeah, so educating women.
But do you think understanding of wealth management or finance management is a challenge only with women, or do men also struggle to manage their money?
Men do as well. They don't do as much because they know. See, I think the bedrock of any wealth management is your asset allocation, right? It's not about timing the market. It is not about choosing the security, whether you will choose a PMS, AIF, or a bond or a stock. It's the same asset class, right? But it is about having the asset allocation right. How much money should go into equity, how much to debt, how much to real estate, how much to commodities like gold and silver, or international exposure. That asset allocation has to be done. So many a times I meet my clients, oh, my asset allocation is perfect. I have 100 rupees in mutual fund, 100 rupees in equity, I have 100 rupees in AIF. But they are all the same asset class, which is called equity. How much do you have in debt? How much do you have it in real estate? So, you know, so I think keep breaking it down, simplifying every time you meet your asset allocation. You have to dig in also with men. I think with most investors, which are again men and women, not many are aware of the tax laws. 4 or 5 tax laws which are applicable to everybody, right? Starting with section 112. Do you know that if you withdraw a profit, if you redeem where you made profit of 1 lakh, you don't have to pay tax long term. You know it. Great. So we are doing the right thing. Yeah. So people have lost. You know, if there is a family of 4 and you made 100 rupees has become 101, for example, that 1 lakh you can actually withdraw without paying taxes every year under section 112 of income tax, I think. Right? So 44A, 44ADA, there are various sections which are available, which also says that if you made capital loss in any financial year, you can carry that loss for the next 8 years, right? You can set off a loss in a real estate against your capital gains in various financial instruments. So these are laws which are available, section 72 to 74, 78, which are just 5 out of 298 sections which are there. So you don't really have to be a chartered accountant to understand that. You know, so it is our role.
So I think if you just work actively with your CA, your fund manager, these are very basic pieces of information. This is something that I learned over the last 9-10 years that I have been managing my own money.
But उसको भी तो educate करना पड़ेगा ना,
yeah.
because when you are investing, you're giving it to the CA, you know that the CA is doing right. But you, if you're aware of it, that section 112 is applicable, I can do it, right? And therefore, awareness, educating. So it's as important for men as for women. Women more because they've not taken interest. Men have taken interest, but you have to keep bringing it down that your asset allocation. This tax law applies to your portfolio, and
Yeah.
therefore educating men also is important. You know, like they always say, NRI clients, for example, they say नहीं इंडिया में रुपी तो हमेशा depreciate ही होता रहता है 4% every year, but in dollar terms I'm making 7-8%. But in historically over the last 24 years, we have got the data to show that India has beaten all advanced countries in terms of post depreciation, which means in dollar terms we've been number one. You know, so if you have the data to show, you are educating both men and women,
yeah.
in the same category. But women are now being, you know, kind of being are taking interest,
Yeah.
understanding, but it is a responsibility of us people.
Yeah.
And because I've done so many years as a banker, I saw how helpless women become, and my heart goes out to them, being a woman myself. And I think that's why I've taken upon myself that educating women investor is very important, as well as men. But I don't limit my education just to them, because I have learned over the 16 years here, I have learned a different kind of wealth management, which as a banker I didn't. And it applies to everybody, not just HNIs, but to people who have. See, wealth for you and me may not be crores,
Yeah.
right? Wealth for him may not be crores. It could be even 50,000 I've saved. They need to be given educated. Who's
Yeah.
going to do it?
This was actually going to be my next question. That
Yeah.
we're talking about asset allocation, we're talking about equity, debt, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, but none of these terms would hold any relevance for somebody who's from the weaker section of the society, or somebody who's just starting out, a fresher, who's living from paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
So for them, you know, how does financial planning come into the picture? How should they look at this whole subject and make sure that they're financially secure for the future and have enough saved up for all the major milestones and events and aspirations in the future?
Yeah. So I think it has to begin in school. Definitely. You have to be taught, because end of the day everyone wants to work, earn money, but what do you do with the money?
Yeah.
Right? So it has to begin in school. I wish there is a chapter, there is a course which happens, and it should be at all IIMs, all IITs, because you should know that. But I think more importantly is SEBI has started taking a lot of, you know, awareness, education, educating, a huge budget they have to educate people. All my staff at home, their money is not lying in fixed deposit, bank deposit. Every month when I give them the salary, I create a SIP for them. Minimum is 500. You create a SIP and look at the portfolio. They are all so rich. So it has to be to do with educating. And you know, so even in our organization, we have people from economically weaker section who we have hired. They worked with me. They are my Mali's daughter. They're my maid's son. You educate one person. You teach financial literacy to just one person, and the whole family gets educated. So it is a lot to do. I think SEBI is doing a lot, but also I think it is upon us, people like us, that while you're great doing HNIs and ultra HNIs, also handhold people who need help. They may not have crores to give you, but even if it is 10,000, 15,000 a month, because again, the data shows that 740 lakh crores is the household savings in India.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and only 6 to 7% is invested in the equity market. Only that. That's because of ignorance, because of the mental block that equity is risky, because of the fact that we've grown up ki mitti sona hai and real estate kharido, but there is no liquidity, there's no divisibility, right? So I think it is I am again a big believer that SEBI has to come in, and it has started doing it a lot. You know, if you see the TV ads, you know, people are gymming and they say mutual fund to sahi hai and all that.
Yeah.
So people who are listening are becoming aware of it कि mutual fund की चीज़ कोई है. So fixed deposit में क्या है 6-7%, आपके inflation is only 7, you're eroding your capital. So awareness is becoming very, very clear amongst all kinds of people, but also I think it is a responsibility for people like us. You know, if I am able to teach my Mali, I'm able to teach my driver, my maids, कि हर महीने आप ये पैसे रखो, and when they've started seeing 16, 17, 18% kind of a return, they will go and tell their parents, their brothers, their sisters. So awareness, if you've created handheld, you know, start. I'm not saying go all out. If you did that with your own immediate household people, then the world will learn. And I think 740,000 crore is the household savings in India. So we have a long way to go.
Yeah.
But education.
Yeah.
So the teacher in me is very strong that you have to teach. And
I think participation from everybody who is capable of, you know, giving in their 2 cents, that's important. Family level पे बहुत changes की ज़रूरत है, जहाँ पे we feel like we can
अपने
actually.
बच्चों को,
True.
you know, हम बच्चों को बोलते पैसे की बातें नहीं करनी चाहिए. But why? You know, I'm giving you an example. 2 kids, like I said, when they were very small, I was working with the bank, where I would come back home very late, and my 10-year-old then would say, "Mama, what do? You come back home so late." And I said, you know, I sit on so much money, I have to lock them and keep them, otherwise chori ho jayega paisa. So he said, oh my God, you're so rich. So I said, yeah, so much money we have. So, you know, in the parent-teacher meeting, I was told that Mrs. Raghuvanshi, you're not being fair, you're teaching your child all about money, कि आप इतने rich हो, आप पैसे को ये करते हो. So I said, am I rich? So he said, नहीं, आपने बोला है आप ताला चाबी लगा के पैसे के ऊपर बैठते हैं. मैंने कहा, my God, I'm a banker. So, you know, obviously as a head, as a regional head, I used to take responsibility of all of that. So, for a child who was so small, I didn't know what to say. कि मेरे को manage करना पड़ता है. You know, I have to see that the treasuries were absolutely balanced and, you know, it's closed. So, that's how I taught my...
No, again, I think it's a cultural thing. Like,
Yeah.
parents don't talk about their assets, their liabilities, their savings with their kids. If kids ask, it's considered,
Yeah.
you know,
How can you
impolite.
be?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Will के बारे में लोग openly बात नहीं करते हैं कि will के बारे में बात कर रहे हो तो are you waiting for us to actually pass on?
Pass on,
So वो वैसे I think thought process है, but that has to change.
Yeah.
Because we are such a huge country and like
Absolutely.
you said, इतना ज़्यादा हमारा जो मतलब amount है वो बैठा है, it's not there in the market. And if people were more educated, you know, all of that much more than what it is right now would come into the market, and as a country will grow so much.
Yeah.
So that's something that people need to understand.
Self-reliance.
Yeah.
The economy. So, you know, like you said, I have so many clients where the children, I said, you know, I don't know, has your parent made a will? How can I go and ask? I said, excuse me, end of the day, you know you're going to inherit. Why should you not ask? नहीं, हम ये पूछ नहीं सकते. Because again, it's all to do with our culture, the way we've all grown up. And the mindset is, even the parents, like you said, कि वो बुरा मान जाएंगे कि देखो ये हमारे लिए wait कर रहे हैं कि हम मर कब जाएं. So in our life, our children know everything. You know, we've created trust. They know they live overseas. अगर कल मैं नहीं रही, so my husband should know where all my money is or his money, and therefore it's important that we talk. So money is not something to be ashamed of. It has to be discussed, it has to be planned. You know, a child may not want to inherit the property that we bought for the child. He may want liquidity, financial. So let's look at that. So you're right कि ये mindset change बहुत ज़रूरी है. Financial literacy, education across everyone, starting with children, it has to begin early. Like, again, I think like leadership, it begins very early, you know, and you have to identify and you have to keep encouraging that. Same thing, managing your money, pocket money, we give our children. If you teach them the art of saving and investing right, it will happen.
You know, Poonam, I'll tell you a very interesting thing. My elder one just turned 5 3 months ago, and ever since we started giving him a pocket money of 100 rupees every Sunday. And my husband explained to him, he said, Arjun, ये आपके पैसे हैं, आप अगर इसको सेव करोगे धीरे धीरे बहुत ज़्यादा बढ़ जाएगा, एंड देन यू कैन बाय अ बिगर टॉय. पर अगर आपको हर हफ्ते कुछ जाके खरीदना है, यू कैन स्पेंड दैट मनी एंड यू कैन बाय छुटपुट कुछ भी आपको मार्केट से मिलेगा. एंड दैट 5-year-old, इमेजिन, हु डजंट इवन नो काउंटिंग, कुछ भी नहीं पता है. वी आस्क्ड हिम, अर्जुन, डू यू वांट टू सेव इट for later or do you want to spend it? He said, I want to save it for later. इतनी simple सा basic था, and I understood it so well.
Yeah. You have to make it uncomplicated, simple for everyone to understand.
Yeah.
And I think it starts very early. And therefore inclusiveness is so important. Both boys and sons and daughters, every strata of the society. Once you then the disparity that we talk about कि women को पैसे ज़्यादा नहीं मिलते, there is a pay disparity which exists everywhere in the economy in the world. In our organization, I've never felt it. I've never faced that disparity that you know he's earned more and I've earned more. ऐसा नहीं है, because wherever I have felt, if ever I did, I have always been vocal. You know, what have I done wrong? You tell me. If you're looking at the merit, if you're seeing the performance, if performance defines, don't look at the gender. Performance defines how much salary I should get. Then I should be as good as him. And I think again, वहाँ पे भी हम we women don't talk.
Yeah.
हम sad होके रह जाते हैं, देखो, just because I'm a woman. But we are the victim, we are our own lawyer.
Yeah.
And that has to change. We cannot be a victim. We have to be our lawyer. If no one is fighting for you, you fight yourself. So, yes. See, end of the day, it's a man's world. Let's face it, across the world, America जैसा country, अगर woman president नहीं ला सका, तो I mean, the biggest economy, right? So I think it is changing, but we need to be, we have to ask, we have to stand up for ourselves. No one is going to fight for us. And I think people like you, people like me, if we can educate and impart that literacy in our small, simple way, which you've done to your son, to even our support staff, I think we will go a long way. You know, and financial literacy does not just get confined to children, women. I think the most important strata or most important part of all our life, of all our people, are the homemakers.
Yeah.
Women, right? You had asked me this question earlier, and I will answer you. Is homemakers play a very, very important role.
Yeah.
I think they're the best wealth managers, if you ask me. And again, it comes from the fact that I've seen my mother, who was a homemaker, how she saved money, whatever money that was given to her to run homes, she saved money usme se bhi, and never ever did, you know, growing up in Calcutta, there was puja, there was Diwali, there was Holi, you wanted clothes, we were 4 siblings, she bought everything for us, and yet she would save money.
Yeah.
So women at homemakers also play a very, very crucial role. You know, because she is also deciding so many things for all of us, right? And even decision making में उसको include करना is so important, because she's seen all of us up close. She understands the emotional security of each one of us much better than a working mother or a working woman, and therefore including them in all decision making is very important, because she is completely agnostic of what is happening in the marketplace, what is happening. She says कि मुझे अपने बच्चों को हार्वर्ड भेजना है, उसके लिए कितना पैसा चाहिए, वो कैसे बचाना है, you know. So she comes with a different mindset.
Yeah.
Even when we write bills for, and many women who are homemakers, when they sit together, so I insist that both husband and wife sit together when we are looking at the portfolios, making a will or a trust. You know, the insecurity, the unspoken insecurities that the homemaker has, it comes out so openly and clearly, you know, and that you incorporate, and then you say, oh my God, we never thought about this. Even the husband says, oh my God, I never thought about this. And it's so relevant, you know. So, I mean, everybody is, so these are unconscious biases that one has, कि वो क्या value add करेगी, so let me make it.
Yeah.
But not true.
Yeah.
So they have to be included.
Yeah.
They play a very important role in shaping our lives. They have given it up on their own accord, on their own choice. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि वो पढ़े लिखे नहीं है. So choices have to be made, and that's a choice they made, and you have to respect. And they come up with some very good suggestions many a times.
Yeah.
And I look at them, I said, wow.
And I think very creative ones also.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying. So these are many a times these are unconscious insecurities which just come up. And then you say, oh my God, we never thought of it. We should implement in our strategy and bring it on. So very, very good. So yeah, women बहुत अलग सोचते हैं.
Yeah.
And they are, by nature, they're very nurturing.
Yeah. True.
And I think even on the wealth management, when you see so many women wealth managers, their style of dealing with clients is very different from that of a man.
I
and
think वो emotional level पे ज़्यादा connect कर पाते हैं.
so emotional quotient is very important
Yeah.
because you're managing somebody's hard-earned money.
Yeah.
There is a lot of emotion which is involved. Of course, it has to be backed by math.
Yeah.
It has to be backed by data. But EQ has to be very important.
Yeah, true. So with this, we come to the end of this conversation, Poonam. Thank you so much for your time. It was a lovely conversation. I think it's not every day that you meet somebody who's achieved so much in her professional life and personal success all at the same time. So I think you're a role model yourself, and I know how precious your time is. So thank you so much for taking out the time to talk to me. This means a lot.
Pooja, you're just being too generous with your words. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm very passionate about what I do, and for me, the mantra is only educate, 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 whatever I can. And thank you so much, and we look forward to meeting you more often.
Likewise.
As a client.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Pooja. Thank you so much.